How often do you find yourself unhappy with the things that you have or even the life that you live? It can be so easy to buy into the lie that someone else has it better than you, the lie that you are failing, the lie that you don't have anything to show for your money. This is what we are going to be talking about today, combating the noise in your head telling you that the life you have built is wrong, telling you that something else is more important than what you dream of. So listen in as I walk you through the reason why you believe this and my 4 steps to remove the lies you have been believing about your life and your money so that you can stick to your budget and finally just live the life that you want. So go get your drink, open your heart to God, and let's dive in. If you're ready to build wealth, ensure financial security, stop overspending, and finally create a budget you can stick to, you mama are in the right place. Hi, I'm Molly, a budget coach and financial strategist who went from living paycheck to paycheck to paying off debt, saving money, and going on vacation, all by budgeting. And I help mamas just like you budget and create God-centered systems and routines so that you too can have financial freedom. Now stop pinching those pennies and let's dive in. Are you ready for a budgeting system you can finally stick to? I see you. You're struggling. You're trying to get ahead. I know that you dream of being able to do way more with your money than simply pay your bills and buy food, because how fun is that, right? That is why I want to invite you to get some budget coaching. This is where I walk you through setting up your budget and coach you through sticking to it. I am not just going to give you a budget and expect you to figure the rest of it out on your own. Setting up a budget is the easy part. It's the putting the systems in place and creating and implementing habits that help you stick to the budget that are hard. So no, I'm not just going to give you a budget and send you out into the world to figure the rest of it out on your own. I am going to strategize with you when the things aren't working and coach you through the hard parts. If this is something that God has just been laying on your heart and you're ready to finally move the needle forward in your budgeting, then send me an email at mollybennell@gmail.com. So that's MOLLY, B as in boy, ENELL @gmail.com. And don't forget, if you're the first of 3 to sign up, you'll get your coaching half off. So do it now. Again, my email is mollybennell@gmail.com, and let's get you out of the overwhelm and into confidence. All right, so picture this. You are on your phone, you're on Instagram or Facebook, whatever you prefer to be on, and you're scrolling and you just see some of these things that people are doing with their life, or they're showing the things that they are buying, right? This is so common. It's something that I have to guard myself against, right? Because it can breed so many negative thoughts. And a couple months back, while I was on my little break, right, I heard this episode and it was talking about a totally different subject, but it said something that resonated with me so much that I just had to share it with you. I wrote it down so that I didn't forget, because this is so true. Think back to that scenario. What does it do? What do you feel when you see those things? What kind of emotions are brought up? And that right there is what today's episode is all about. It's the number one reason why you feel like you have nothing to show for your money, right? And that's what we're trying to stop. We don't want you to feel like you have nothing to show for your money when there are lots of things that you have to show for your money. It's just not what your friend's doing, or somebody that you barely know who has a totally different lifestyle than you, who lives in a totally different area, has different circumstances that are nowhere close to yours. And those are things that we don't think about. We just see the end result. We don't see the hard that they go through. We don't see what they are just saying no to in order to buy the thing or go on the vacation or renovate their house. We only see the end result. And it's that end result that really just brings out these negative feelings and emotions that just can overwhelm us sometimes and make us feel like we have nothing to show for our money because they are able to do something that we can't, right? So the reason behind why you feel like you have nothing to show for your money is because you are feeding your heart something that isn't what you actually want. Okay, I said that really really backwards. Let's try it again. So the heart wants what you feed it, right? That is the message that I got when I was listening to that podcast episode a ways back. And that is the message that I just really want you to understand, is that the reason you feel like you don't have anything to show for your money, for the income that you bring in, is because you're feeding your heart something that I don't want to say you can't have, but it's just not something that you can have right now, right? It's something that you have to work towards. You have to be okay with waiting and being patient and saving up for it and doing it the right way versus going on that vacation or buying that thing and putting yourself into more debt, which just hurts you financially and puts you in a hard place, right? That is what I don't want for you. When you feed your heart negative things, it's going to breed discontentment. It's going to breed selfishness. It's going to dive into comparison, and you're going to get all of the negative thoughts, all of the negative emotions, and it's going to be overwhelming to the point where you just feel stuck and like you can't move forward and do anything because you're not doing what somebody else is doing, right? And that's not the case for you. Feeding your heart is like discontentment with your things when you do it with the wrong types of things, right? And what I mean by feeding your heart is essentially, what are the things that you're looking at? Go back to the story that I kind of had you picture at the beginning of this episode and think about what are the things that you are constantly looking at and how does that make you feel? If you're looking at a picture of somebody else going on vacation and you're like, oh yeah, good for you, awesome, and you're able to flip to the next thing and have no negative emotions come out of it, then you are fine and you should keep doing that, right? Like, it's not going to hurt you to cheer somebody else on for their wins, because that's ultimately, well, I hope that's ultimately what they're trying to convey, is just their joy and excitement of being able to finally be able to do whatever that thing is. Now, yes, there are some people out there that are trying to flaunt it and trying to live the so-called, I'm air quoting, rich life, but most people are not trying to flaunt it and throw it in your face that they're able to do something that you can't, right? But there are things that you do that they want as well, right? There's lots of times where I find myself comparing my situation to my friend who is living almost the same lifestyle as me, and I feel like they're bringing in less money, but they're able to do more things, like go camping more often, and they're able to do all the fun things that I'm like, oh, I wish I could just do that. But then I have to sit back. I have to look at what we are doing with our income. Yes, we're getting a lot of income, I feel like, compared to them, just because of the jobs our husbands have. Now, she brings in supplemental income. I don't know what her income looks like, right? But what I find myself doing is doing that comparison thing. So then I have to just sit down because I'm feeling all these negative emotions, all these things that are just like, oh, why can't I have that? Or my husband is so bad. Like, mine's just a little tweak here and there, but my husband, I love him to death, but when it comes to like big purchases, when it comes to like a pickup, like he's really wanted a really nice pickup. And all of his friends are able to have these really nice pickups or do all these things to their pickups to make them, all the fancy stuff like straight piping them. And thank goodness he's finally out of that phase and doesn't want to do that anymore. But he really wants a nice pickup. And it's hard to be able to do that with all of the things that we are prioritizing. He wants the pickup. I want to be able to go camping and do all the fun things. Like he's the person that wants the things and I want the experience kind of thing, right? And then we have to sit down and we have to look at what we're actually doing. We are putting money into our house and getting it fixed up. We are renovating our house to where it looks the way we want it, the way we enjoy it. And when you look at the situations of the other people, they are not doing that. They're putting all their money into the experience or all of their money into the thing that they can't actually afford. And so it's putting them in a tight spot. Now, it doesn't always have to put them in a tight spot, but some of the situations, that they probably should have saved up a little bit more before trying to purchase the thing. And now they have more debt than they should kind of situation, right? But I'm not trying to judge. I'm not trying to compare. I'm just trying to show you how other people's choices are different than my choices, are different than your choices. Life is not the same for each one of us because we have different goals, different dreams, different desires. Now, there are some parts of it where like, yeah, I really wish I could have that, but it doesn't come out at the top of the list, right? It's not the priority at the moment. That doesn't mean that down the road, it's not going to be a different situation and we're not going to be able to do those things or to buy the thing. It will eventually happen. It just means we have to exercise our, our patience muscle. That's not what I'm looking for, but delayed gratification. There we go. You have to exercise that muscle of delayed gratification and being able to slowly work up to it, right? So getting back to what you feed your heart with is going to really show you how you are living your life, right? So if you are feeding your heart things that really just are breeding discontentment with the things that you have and the life that you are living, you're tired of the hand-me-downs, you're tired of the cheap life, you're tired of all that kind of stuff, and I totally get it. But then what are you prioritizing? Are you prioritizing the wrong thing? Do you need to get rid of a whole bunch of debt or maybe a little bit of debt so that you can start prioritizing the things that are important to you? Is making your house look nice something that's actually important to you? Or is it just something that would be a nice to have, right? Is it going to actually bring you joy? And on that note, I want you to really dive deep into that feeling. Like, what brings you joy? Is it, and I have an answer for you, is it the things that you buy or the stuff that money brings you? Is that truly going to bring you joy? No, it's not. The joy of your life does not come from the things or even the experiences that you buy or are given, but your joy comes from God and the relationships that you have in your life, your family, your friends, your work coworkers, the people that you work with in church, even if they're just acquaintances. Those relationships are going to tell you how good of a life you have. Because if you go into third world countries who don't have the stuff that we have, who aren't able to just throw money at whatever thing that they want and quickly and easily get it, they are joyful still. And why is that? Because of the relationships they have. Life is not about the things that money can buy for you. Money is a tool. It is great to use. It does make some things simpler, but sometimes we go too far past that and expect the joy to come from the things that are able to be bought with money. But that is not where true joy comes from. It comes from relationships. So I could keep going on that point, but I have 4 things that I want to share with you that can help you feed your heart and protect it and guard it from the things that are going to breed that negative feeling, those negative thoughts, the discontentment, the selfishness, the comparison that just come up when we see those things, the jealousy, right? These are the things that are going to help you move past it so that you can be content, you can be happy with the decisions that you have been making with your money. Now, again, this might be something that you need to really sit down and analyze and look over and really decide if this is what is a priority to you. The things that you are spending your money on, you do need to look at and figure out, is this really a priority, or is this something that I've just kind of slid into and now I don't know how to get out of it? But that is an episode for the future. And right now, I just want to dive into the 4 steps that you can take so that you can start feeding your heart with things that are going to breed joy, breed love, breed happiness, and the things that you actually want in your life. So, to feed your heart the things that are not negative, you need to first protect your heart. So how do you protect your heart? You need to look at what the things are that you're looking at, that you're reading, the things that you're putting into your mind. Does it breed discontentment? Does it bring selfishness and comparison and the feelings of jealousy and sadness and anger because you aren't able to get those things? You need to first figure it out. It's not going to come easily. It's going to come over time, right? This isn't something that you can just be like, oh, that's it, and pinpoint it right away. No, it's going to be as you're sitting there looking at your phone, scrolling, and just being mindful of how the things that you are looking at are making you feel. So first, protect your heart. Then take it to God. Ask Him to help release the hold it has on you. Get into the Word. Figure out the answers that He has for you, because that is where you're going to find His answers, is in the Word, and getting silent and not looking at your phone and consuming the things that you are so used to doing. Like, we have to be quiet. We have to sit. We have to allow God into our hearts. And if we're constantly consuming and constantly thinking, then He doesn't really have that ability to do that, right? So protect your heart. Really analyze what it is that you're looking at. Then take it to God and ask Him to remove the stronghold that it has on you. Step number 3 is to do a detox. So once you've figured out what it is that is bringing that discontentment and you've taken it to God, then do a detox. So stop looking at the thing. Stop feeding that desire, right? Remove the temptation. This might be apps. It could be things like your social media accounts that you need to take a break from, but it could also be like putting your debit cards or your credit cards in your safe and just leaving them there while you go to town and just use cash for a little bit so that you aren't like able to use a big amount of money, right? That could be something that you are helping yourself with. I don't know the situation, but it could also be apps like purchasing apps on your phone. So it could be Amazon, it could be Walmart, it could be Target, it could be whatever it is. But do a detox and just stop looking at the thing for like a month, or maybe if it's super hard, just do a week at a time and slowly build it up, right? This is not something that you can just snap your fingers and it be done and over with, right? It's something that's going to take a little bit of time or a lot of bit of time, depending on how strong of a hold it has on your heart, right? And it will get easier, I promise. I know that I personally don't get on Facebook all that much because of the way it makes me feel. I don't feel happy when I get off of it. And a lot of the times I've gotten on it and I get so lost in it that I've lost hours instead of a few minutes. And so I'm like, well, if I can't control this desire, then I guess I just need to get rid of it because it's not helping me. It's harming me. It's harming relationships. It's taking away my time of things that I could do that are more important to me than being on my phone. And that is a decision that I have made. Maybe it's something that you need to really look at and figure out if that's something that you need to make as well. Are you addicted to it? Are you not? Because that's what this comes down to. The things that you are feeding your heart, if it's negative, causes addiction. And that is something that can be really hard to break. And that's why I'm saying take these steps one step at a time. Do it slowly. Let God work in your heart. Let Him partner with you through this because it is not an easy task. It is not something that, like I've already said, you can just snap your fingers and get it gone right away. It's something that's going to take time and something that's going to take work, which is not fun, right? Okay, so then step number 4 is once you've figured out what it is that's bringing that discontentment and you've taken it to God and you're working on that detox, create a system to prevent it. So what is the thing that's causing that discontentment? Like for me, I've deleted Facebook off of my phone. Now I still have it for here on my computer so that I can get into my Facebook group and I can talk with you who are in the community, right? Which come and join the community if you haven't, so we can talk and get to know each other, right? But that is something that I have put up for a prevention piece to help feed my heart good things instead of bad things. Now, I am not saying, I do want to make sure you understand this. I am not saying that Facebook is bad. I am not saying that Instagram is bad. I'm not saying that a debit card or a credit card or any of this stuff is bad. I'm just saying that for me personally, I cannot control myself sometimes. And so I put up blockers to keep me from doing the thing that I don't want to do, right? I put a system in place to prevent it. And sometimes that you got to get creative on those things. It's not just as easy as deleting an app because when you go in the store, you still might have those desires because you fed your heart so long on whatever it is that you desire that when you go in the store, you still have that strong desire. You haven't been able to break that stronghold, especially if you're just starting the process. So putting systems in place to help you not have that desire could be like not walking down that aisle wherever that thing is. It could be doing a Walmart pickup order or whatever store you like to do, doing a pickup order so that you aren't going in the actual store, right? There are so many ways that you can do it and so many things that can be put into place. It just takes a little creativity and a little bit of time to figure out the problem and to solve it. So give yourself grace before you really start getting overwhelmed and stressed that you're not able to stick to it, right? Okay, so in order to stick to your budget, this is also a big key, is to feed your heart the right things, right? Feed your heart stuff that's going to bring it joy, bring it excitement. And that's another thing. So I guess I could add a 5th step to this, is to start feeding your heart the things that are going to breed the emotions and the feelings that you want. So start diving into the things that bring you joy. That doesn't include money, right? So dive into your relationship with your family. And if it's broken and something needs fixed there, start working on that. Put that into your brain. Figure out something to do that's going to make you happy without having to use money, right? You can do so many things without money. There's so much proof in that in the third world country who, yes, they are struggling and yes, they have hard times, but they still are joyful and are able to have joy in their life because of their relationships. So focus instead of on the things that you don't have or the things that somebody else has that you aren't able to have right now. Focus on your relationships. Turn your mind off of things and onto people. And that is going to really just help you be able to see things from a different point of view, change your mindset, break the strongholds, and be able to live the joyful life that you are looking for. All right, so before I head out, I do want to remind you that there are 3 spots available to get my budget coaching half off. And this is something that is really going to explode your finances and help you change your mindset, be able to see things from a different point of view, and actually move the needle forward in your finances, right? You're going to walk away with a budget. You're going to be able to have a budget that you can stick with. But most importantly, after we set up the budget, you're going to get coaching with me to figure out what systems you need in place to be able to stick to your budget. We will strategize and we will coach through the hard things, right? So this is not something you have to do alone. And if you are struggling with it, please, please, please reach out and let me help you. So again, if this is something that God has just laid on your heart, I want to be there to help you. So send me an email at mollybonnell@gmail.com. And again, if you are the first of 3 to sign up, you will get this half off. So make sure you do it now. Again, my email is mollybonnell@gmail.com. So that's MOLLY, B as in boy, ENELL @gmail.com. And let's get you out of the overwhelm and into confidence. Hey mama, I pray that today's episode has inspired you and grew you. If so, will you please share it with that friend who is praying for a budget breakthrough, and leave a rating and review so that you can help get the podcast out to other mamas struggling with their budget. Also, get some support for yourself by joining my free Facebook group and becoming an insider, where you get weekly support emails and are the first to find out when something new is on its way. You can find the links in the show notes, and I will see you right back here next Tuesday.